I'm gonna get back to that story, Sonny. Just, just you listen to Boomer, great one. He's gonna tell you about how it was back in the olden days, back before fire, back when we walked uphill for everything. In fact, we didn't even have a concept of downhill because there was no downhill. Everything was uphill. We thought that was normal. We didn't even have a word for it because there was no alternative. It was uphill all the time. You just need to reach down and grab yourselves by your bootstraps and pull yourselves up, Sonny. Because when I was your age, I bought a house for $25,000. And I made that money on my paper route and bussing tables at the local cafe. And if I can do it, you can do it too. You just need to reach down and pull yourself up and just buckle up there, buckaroo. God, I hate boomers.
I take 1 month off to go write a book, and a president gets inaugurated. Everything goes. I'm glad I got today's the first day I haven't had to write, and it felt great just to be able to do videos, man. Here's another one. Hi, Aaron. I know you said you got asked why don't you get married at gatherings. I live in the EU. Here's what the Supreme European Court of Human Rights ruled about marriage and sex. A woman has no obligation to have sex with her man. I know many U.S. citizens say that women in Europe are better. They are not. Take care. We'll keep you anonymous. All right. Well, I haven't dated, so I don't have an opinion of it. But and look, I happen to agree with the ruling. I don't care if you're married or not. That's still a person. Maybe they don't want you. If, without law or anything else, yes, your wife doesn't owe you sex. You don't owe her sex either. You don't owe her money. You don't owe her protect. We don't owe each other anything. We're individuals. And I'm just here saying, so then why the fuck is anyone getting married if we don't owe each other nothing? Unless we get divorced, then I owe somebody something. Okay. Okay. I have to hold up some things I still have to do. Oh, all right. But if there's no guarantees of certain benefits to any partnership, relationship, business contract, then there ain't no reason for no contract. Ain't no reason for no business. And my point is we should make it a law that wives by law must sleep with their husband. I'm like, why the fuck you people getting married? Why are you getting married? Let's read through it. Sex not part of woman's marital duties, court rules in divorce case. A French woman has won a ruling from Europe's top human rights court with the panel of 7 judges unanimously saying she should not have been blamed in her divorce for not having sex with her husband. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you should be blamed for that. That I know it's implied. It's a covert contract. Married men want to have sex. Who knew? I don't care what the court says. Maybe it's not a legal reason, but if you're not having sex, yes, you are to blame for the marriage falling apart or getting divorce papers. You are the cause. There could be other reasons. I'm not saying the only one, but if you're not having sex, that's a reason for divorce. It may not be a legal reason. You may not get a word, but yeah, there ain't no sex. Expected divorce. So then I have a question. If the guy stepped out on her, would then he be able to get sued in divorce or infidelity or adultery? I want to know that. I want to know, according to the human, can he then go and step out on the gal if she ain't having sex? Would that then, wait, whoa. A man doesn't owe a woman fidelity, loyalty, correct? Or money or protection. I would disagree. I'd say, no, you probably should protect your wife. But you left this modern day politicians know everything. European Court of Human Rights judgment ruled that the woman known as Miss HW in court documents in keeping with European protocol suffered a violation of Article 8 on the European Convention of Human Rights, the right to respect for family and private life. The case centered on the divorce between a woman, French, and a French national born in 1955, who lives where we don't need to mention anything, and her husband, known in court records as Mr. JC. In 2015, she petitioned the Versailles High Court for divorce on the grounds of fault, alleging that her husband had prioritized his career over family. Oh my God. Oh my God. Ladies, do you want to? I caught flack when I was young. I'm not so sure about this marriage. You adults can't get your fuck. This is a gal born in 1955. Oh my God, you old people don't know shit. The fuck out of here with your wisdom. See, man, you can't provide for your family. You can't work hard. That's bad. But if you don't work hard enough, well, then you're not working hard enough. That's bad too. Like, oh, I got an idea. How about we just don't play this game? How about that? Had prioritized his career over family life and had been bad-tempered and insulting, according to the ECHR statement. He counterclaimed, arguing that she had made slanderous accusations against him and failed to fulfill in her marital duties. Divorce was granted in November of 2019 by the Versailles. Well, wait, so she wanted the divorce. Okay. So I'm trying to figure out what's wrong here. Like, what's the problem? You got the divorce you wanted, didn't you? The divorce was granted in November of 2019 by the Versailles Court of Appeal, with the fault attributed to the woman on the basis that not having sex with her husband constituted a serious and repeated breach of marital duties and obligations, making it impossible to continue in the state of matrimony. So I have a question. Is it written in law that's really, is it French law, European law, that marital duties like sex is part? Has that ever been written in there? Or has that just been a covert contract that we've had amongst each other for years on end? I'm not a lawyer. So, you got the law, right? And then there's reality, right? It's not illegal to call someone a poopy fart face. But if I'm a kid on the playground and you call me a poopy fart face, I don't have to hang out with you anymore. I want to hang out with you. That's not illegal, but it's implied, like it's a social law that you don't call people names unless it's Vince, because then the consequences would be that you don't get to hang out with those people anymore. You don't form friendships with them. So for the longest time, it's implied that men get sex and women get protection and resources, which the guy was trying to. I love that one. Man, I've had to talk to some girls in my life. Look, is your dad going to give me money? Well, fuck off then. You work too much. I'm sorry. Can I get a free car like you got? Oh, that pissed me off. Just, I'm sorry. You're going to give me food? You're not going to give me food? Well, shut the fuck up. So, culturally speaking, yeah, we get it. That's ground for divorce. And I guess that would be swept under no-fault divorce or irreconcilable differences. At least that's how it would be in the U.S. But she needed to set the record straight, apparently. Says, no, it wasn't because I didn't have sex with them. It was, well, what is it? She files for a divorce. She gets it. They grant the divorce, attributing fault to the woman on the basis of not having her sex breach the state of matrimony. She appealed the case within France, but was rejected. And in March 2021, she took it to the Human Rights Court. So I just want to point this out. Unless there was some financial consequences to you being ruled in fault for the divorce, which there may have been, I could see appealing. If it wasn't, and you just wanted to make a point, gee, I wonder why the guy didn't. You know who I'm going to be siding with here, huh? In Thursday's ruling, a panel of judges found that the very existence of such a marital obligation ran counter to sexual freedom. Okay, but is it a rule or a law? In the court, you know what? Andrew over at Legal Mindset, I should send this to him. I got to send Andrew this. In the court's view, consent to marriage could not imply consent to future sexual relations. What the fuck? Look, right now, we all know there's plenty. God almighty, the weight of a black hole on the scale of don't get married. You got the people at the TradCon place putting a little feather on the other, like, see? In the court's view, consent to marriage could not imply consent to future sexual relations. And such an interpretation would be tantamount to denying that marital forcible bedroom, not fun time, was reprehensible in nature. True? Okay. It is also noted that the concept of marital duties took no account whatsoever of consent on sexual relations. In a statement released by the French women's rights organization, Women's Foundation, guys, there's a lot of women just don't like sex, and they hate the fact you want it. Not all, of course. The healthy women like sex and love their men, but there's the biggest part of the pie chart. Most women just aren't that interested in sex. There's some that it's a football, man. You know, it's like, I'm not gonna, and you, okay, I'm just gonna go over here. Okay, fine. So these gals, there's what is the word? Yeah, I think there's an obsession about sex, not over the act. Are you really addicted? But it seems to me a lot of women have this obsession of the over the power dynamics of sex. Does that make sense? A woman described the decision as a victory for all women who, like me, find themselves confronted with aberrant and unjust legal decisions, calling into question their bodily integrity and the right to privacy. The decision is expected to have cascading legal implications in France, and ECHR rulings are binding on member states. It comes amid a national reckoning over consent laws following a high-profile case of Dominique Pellicot. 72 was found guilty of drugging his then-wife, Gazelle Pellicot, and inviting dozens of men to his home to abuse. Okay, well, yeah. Okay. That's wrong. What did other rule? I'm not trying to defend the guy even in the slightest, but isn't there a rule or law against foreign substances or drugging or something? Is it almost kidnapping? Women's rights groups in France hailed the ruling. Respect for human dignity must prevail over all archaic interpretation by French judges, said Emmanuel Piet, president of the feminist collective against forcible bedroom not fun time. The women's attorneys, Lalia Meissen and Delphine Zughibi, said in a joint statement that the ruling is a major development for women's rights to control their bodies, including within the framework of marriage. I happen to agree with it. Right. If you're not in the mood, you're not in the mood, guys. But by now, even for the traditional people, why would you get married? It's a weapon of power. That's what I was going like. Look, man, can we just? Do you want? And guys, if the girl doesn't want to, like, the relationship is over, married or not. Don't stick around. And I don't know if marriage doesn't. I think the social implication or the expectation that if you get married, you're going to get sex will still remain. But legally, it's like, well, the government doesn't believe that. You can't, like, oh, okay, well, just another reason not to get married. Zegby told the Washington Post that the decision means marriage is no longer sexual servitude. Wow. Wow. That's how you guys see that statement says it more than Marriage, I thought there wouldn't be such a thing because I don't know, you love the guy? Am I too naive? Am I dumb? Am I? Marriage is sexual servitude. These are miserable people. Oh, hang on. I got a question. Oh my, just when I think, those TikTok girls are fake and girls can't really be that bad. And now here. Oh yeah. 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 We'll just say yeah. Yeah. Oh my, can we not have fun? Like, there's the celebration of the marriage, and then we're gonna make some babies, and maybe I'm gonna I can't say it because it's YouTube. I'm gonna do some things to you that we're gonna both enjoy. We're gonna be naughty. Oh no, that's a job. It's a chore. I guess what I like about forget the legal ramification. I guess it's just showing me more and more the numbers I had in the book of numbers, analyzing the ROI in the pursuit of women, using different measures and metrics and tactics and I guess methodologies. I estimated women are roughly only 1/9 as interested in sex with men. Yes, I know if you're an exceptionally handsome man, that changes. But your husband's ranking, your everyday guy out there, they're just not that interested, guys. They're just not that interested. And you guys are, and they really don't like the fact that you are. They like to be left alone. They want all the commitment and working and money and let's hold hands. But and guys like, no, I like that. And I don't like the holding of the hand. I don't mind the holding of the hands. Imagine that. Imagine like if no, we're not holding hands, being nice and looking at you. I'm not going to hug you anymore. You're not entitled to hugs. I mean, it's kind of like that, isn't it? You're married and the wife says, well, he wouldn't hold my hand. He just wants you to hold her hand. You're like, I don't want to hold it. What am I? Marriage is hand holding servitude. I'm like, yeah, none of you should be getting married. None of you. Just stop wasting your time. Stop wasting the court's time in France, in Europe, or just knock it off. Ladies, it's fine if you don't like sex. That's fine. It's fine if you fall out of love with your husband. Well, then get a divorce. But oh man, for the decision means marriage is no longer sexual servitude. It's not written in the French law that you must have sexual relations. Okay, so it's true. When you are married, but judges in France are saying this, she said. Now with this decision, they can't say that anymore. What's the birth rate? I wonder if the same people go, why is the birth rate so low? French birth rate. 1.79. Oh, or even less than France. Oh my God. Well, it's kind of flatlined a little bit here. I'm kind of speechless. You get the impression for the longest time, you're like, am I wrong? Is it just me? Am I the lightning rod here? But do I have a particularly pessimistic set of glasses I'm looking through? Or am I getting let me give you an example. I remember asking Chris Beckloff, I said, to the girls you dated, did it seem like they really liked you? And he said a very envious answer. He said, well, yeah. Now, maybe he didn't date as much as I did, but he's like, well, yeah, the girls liked me. It wasn't even, and then I asked another person who I won't mention her name. I said, did you ever get the impression the girls you were dating, like, didn't like you? And, I know he's like, oh yeah, about half. I'm like, what, really? And then well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe me and this other guy, we're flawed in some way, or we're missing something. We're screwing up. And then I talked to Beckloff, and Beckloff is normal. All girls who date you would like you. And now I think Beckloff is the is the statistical outlier, and generally it's a pain in the ass for you girls. Oh God. And then you go through life and you don't know, like, boy, this is awfully dark and pessimistic, what I'm assuming. And now this loss, I was like, maybe because I got good spirits, maybe because Trump is not just reelected, but it looks like he found his ball sack. I'm like, yeah, not all the media was all biased and it's all fake on the internet. And now I see this. I'm like, no, maybe my instincts were correct. Maybe I'm right. Maybe I'm just right. You know what? I'm sorry, gals. You got this relationship with sex that is so, I guess, complicated or indifferent, and it isn't fair that one group wants it way more than the other group. It is unfair it's unfair to both groups, but that's how that's how humans get made and how civilization is built. But yeah, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. You view it as that'd be great. What percent of women view sex in a marriage as slavery? Oh my God. I I found it hilarious. People before me, would like Matt Walsh and Dennis Prager, and I'm not even arguing with these guys. I find it like, oh, you got to get married. You got to get married. And I look at just the concept of like it's an unnecessary legal risk. You boil it down, you don't need it to get what you want out of a relationship. And it's an unnecessary legal and financial risk. And now with this, I'm sure maybe the United States, see, go ahead, make it a law. I don't care. Oh, but man, that's how much the sexes hate each other now, huh? Is that what's going on? All right. Take a look at my book, The Book of Numbers, analyzing the ROI and the pursuit of women. I thought, boy, it was like when I was writing the book for Behind the Housing Crash, because I wrote the book before the housing crash happened. That's how fucking good I was. And I kept coming up with the data and the charts. I'm like, it ain't that bad. It can't be that bad. Is it that bad? I remember looking at one number I crunched. I'm like, that means housing is going to crash by 40%. No, sure as shit it did. It was the same thing with the numbers with the book of numbers. I'm going through polling data and research and economics and all this other stuff. I'm like, no, it can't be. It can't be that bad. Is it that bad? Yeah, it is that bad. It is that bad. Here, look, ladies, just do me a favor. Let's find some common ground here. Why don't we just drop it with the facade that you're interested in boys? I know you're interested in the top elite boys and the romance movies with the guy with six-pack abs, handsome guy on show. Just level with the guys, okay? I don't know if you have to now. The internet's out. We've all kind of figured this out and reverse engineered it. But you could kind of give up the facade, all right? Just maybe they have given up. Like he betted this, he bet like I expect this type of man. Maybe God, isn't that scary? Isn't that scary? I thought on the whatever podcast when there's that famous video going around where they all think they're 10s, they might actually all think they're 10s, or they have such little interest. Like, I'm not interested in any guy unless he's a 10, and they're being honest. Hey, you're taking me to dinner. I'm not wasting my time with you unless we're going out for dinner because I just am not that interested otherwise. And they're being honest. Oh my God. Yeah, I gotta get Andrew. He might not even be awake. I am going to pull up the chart here. Let me get this. Where'd he go? There it is, Andrew. All right, let's go to the super chats if we have any. We got 3. My Truth, the King, $5. You go, girl. I bet he's demanded 2 provisions. Also, guy go left because gals are always right. Get it? Get it? Long live marriage, bunch of simps. It still irks me that he worked too much. That was a complaint. I'm like, God almighty, if you want someone who doesn't work, go find the illegal immigrants you're all voting to have come in. Okay, just welcome them with open arms, all right? You work too much, you work too little. Guys, are you boys paying attention? You paying attention? Trey, 365 bucks. Imagine if ex-wives owned their ex-husband's monthly punani, owed their husband's monthly punani in order to get alimony and half the assets from the ex-husband after divorce. Well, that's the thing. There's just not going to be any marriage. And I think the law now might actually be alimony is written into law. So now it's even doubly so. You're just not going to. I didn't think marriage could get worse. I really didn't. Alex Patino, a truck driver Latino agent into the field, $5. If a woman doesn't want to be a wife, that's cool. It's not a big deal. Just remember, in most places, prenups don't work, so don't even bother with marriage. There's exactly rule number or reason number, I don't know, 12 tonight. Here's what it just is so much more simpler to me. Maybe it's just because I'm a libertarian. I'm all about voluntary behavior. If you don't want to be with me, fine. But being with me in a romantic sense, we will be having sex. But if you don't want to be with me, or you do want to be with me, but we're not having sex, that's fine too, but we're not together. And I don't want to force this. I don't want a wife feeling obliged. Like, really? You know, no, that's fine. Sorry it didn't work out, but I'm not having sex, and two, I'm not forcing you to have it either. I mean, God almighty. Fan I am, $2. Any ETA on your book on an economy of one? Well, I'm done with it, writing it. Now it's off to editing. So a week of editing, week and a half of Amazon approval, KDP approval. So I'm giving people the ballpark after Valentine's Day. So that's, I got the cover done, finished the cover, not the spine though, because I don't know how many pages it's going to be. But yeah, it's 99% done. Just got to wait for the T's to cross and the I's to dot. That'd be it. All right, there you guys go. The Book of Numbers, analyzing the ROI in the pursuit of women. I guess I got to update this. It's available on Amazon. See you guys later. Toodles.